Howdy doody, everyone. Welcome back to the Hold the Line Sports channel. Today, we're going over the NFC East. Yesterday, you guys saw Cam go over the AFC East, and so we're kind of be tag teaming. Basically, I'm going to do all of the divisions of the NFC, and he's going to do all the divisions of the AFC. So he's in the East, so I'm doing the East today. We got the Giants, the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Eagles. That's how the standings finished last year, and that's how we're going to go over each team as well in order. And I think this is, one crazy stat with this division is that no team has won the division 2 years in a row since like the 90s, which is absolutely wild. Like it's the longest streak in all of sports. It's absolutely insane. So, numbers, and you guys know I love my numbers, say the Eagles aren't going to win it. We'll have to see down the line. But yeah, this division, I wouldn't say it's wide open. I think it's a two-team race. The Cowboys could contend for it, but everyone knows here, even coming into this video, it's a two-team race. It's the Commanders and the Eagles. So we'll just have to see. But we can move on first to the New York Giants. This team went 3-14 last year. Horrible QB play. Horrible. You had Danny Dimes, Danny DeVito, or Tommy DeVito, not Danny DeVito, and Drew Lock. Yeah, that's really the names that, the one bright spot for them last year, the two bright spots, was Malik Neighbors is probably potentially already a top 10 wide receiver in football. So that's a great hit right there on a draft pick. And then Tyrone Tracy is a serviceable running back and will, kind of be in a really good tandem with him and Cam Scatterbo. Cam Scatterbo coming in now. And then another bright spot that was on the other side is their pass rush was elite last year already. And then now you add in an elite pass rusher as well in Abdul Carter. He's a little bit more raw than, your typical high draft pick ends, but he's got all the physical tools and has been kind of showing out in preseason and camp. So I think he's going to be very good for them this year, and that pass rush is going to be the reason why they win games this year. And they're like 3 to 5 wins that they get this year. You see the offseason moves right there. They signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, but then they also go and draft Jaxson Dart. So I don't know what they're doing at quarterback, really, to be honest. I think Russ probably starts this year, obviously. And then we'll have to see with when we see Jaxson Dart. I think we see him probably like week 11 or week 9, I think. So I think they're going to want him to be, at home. So I think week 9 at 40 versus the 49ers or week 11 versus the Packers, as you see on their schedule there, is when we see Jaxson Dart. And if we don't then, and this Giants season is still, going how it's planned to go, or not planned, but like how we think it's going to go, probably week 15 versus the Commanders, you give Jaxson Dart 4 starts at the end of the year, kind of how the Falcons did with Penix. And then you move into next year with Jaxson Dart, or you at least see what you got in them, and then say they get the number 1 pick, you go draft Lenore Sellers if he declares. Arch Manning, I don't think he declares, but if he does declare, something along those lines. Cade Klubnik. But yeah, that is my Giants prediction. I think their over-under win total is 5.5 right now. I have them going under, and I went through basically every team's schedule and chose every single game. And the Giants spitting out at 4-13 this year, which, to step up from last year. But I just think with, I don't know if Russ is the answer. Then you could have a rookie quarterback behind him. And then Malik Neighbors is battling some injuries. Is he going to be healthy all year? Tracy had a lot of fumble problems last year. And I just don't think this team is that good. So could we see Dabo gone? They were able to retain him last year, but I don't know. But moving on to the second team, it is the Dallas Cowboys. This team, 7-10 last year, but it was kind of like a, odd year for them, I guess. Dak got hurt. CD got hurt at the end of the year. Micah Parsons got hurt, missed a couple games. Trayvon Diggs missed all the year. A ton of injuries, basically. But the fact of the matter is, too, that they, have lost a lot as well. They lost some defensive pieces to an already bad defense. And then we also see what's been going on recently. Micah Parsons' contract dispute. He's requested a trade. I don't think he's going to get traded. I think he's going to play for the Cowboys this year. I think, remember when Ayuk requested a trade or other people requested a trade? It's a leverage play. Or like when Jonathan Taylor requested a trade. It's a leverage play. They're just trying to get them to, offer him a contract, basically. I think that's what's going on here. I don't think he wants to go out of the Cowboys. If he does, so be it, and gets a contract, so be it. Then the Cowboys are even more screwed on defense. But I do think the Cowboys get it done, and he's playing for them this year. And I think this is mainly just a leverage play for Micah Parsons. But you bring in a new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer. A lot of people didn't like the hire. We'll have to see. It's just for me. There was better options in my opinion, but there was also worse options in my opinion. So we'll just have to see. A rebuilt RB room. Last year they could not run the ball at all with Rico Dowdle. He's now gone to Carolina. You have Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, and Miles Sanders. So not much better than last year, but I think Javonte will kind of be your workhorse. But I think the guy that emerges is Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue is very explosive at Texas. I think he's going to be very explosive in the NFL. He's already kind of shown in that camp and in the preseason a little bit. I do think that that he will be the one to emerge as kind of the best running back. He might not be the lead back because he is a smaller back. I don't know if he gets all the touches, but I do think that he is going to be the kind of like the Tony Pollard to Zeke, basically, where you could tell Tony was better. But he can't handle the full workload, so you still have another guy there. And then they kind of rebuilt the O-line and D-line through the draft. They got Tyler Booker from Alabama, a guard, potentially successor to Zach Martin, something like that. So I really do think that this team is going to be better than last year because of all the injuries and everything like that. But also, I don't think their record is going to get that much better because it is a tough schedule. Honestly, all the teams in this conference or this division got a tough schedule because you know how the scheduling works. You get matched up with one division in the AFC. They got matched up with probably the best division, second best, if not, division in the AFC, and the AFC is loaded because they get the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. That's a tough schedule. Luckily, they get the Chiefs and Chargers at home, but they go to Denver. So we'll have to see with that. And I don't think the Raiders are great, but it's not an automatic win either as well. Geno Smith over there. So I have them at under 7.5 wins, and my model put them at 7-10 again this year. But I do think the team is better. They just have a much tougher schedule. So that's really why I think that they're going 7-10 again. But moving on to the Washington Commanders, 12-5 last year, magical season. I mean, we saw them play the Cowboys where Terry. It's an obvious situation where the Cowboys are going to win. There's like 20 seconds left. They have 0 timeouts, and Terry takes a 90-yard touchdown, but then they missed the PAT. So they had a lot of magic going on last year. I mean, the Hail Mary even against that kind of just derailed Chicago season. But obviously that was also due to Jaden Daniels, one Rookie of the Year, and is going to be really good again this year. And Terry McLaurin had a career year and a contract year, beat the number 1 seed Lions in the playoffs. So really good year from the Commanders. Only thing, right? So Terry McLaurin, contract dispute, requested a trade. I do think it's the same thing as Parsons. I just don't know if they get it done before the season starts. So say they don't. Is his offense going to be better than last year? No. And their defense wasn't stopping many people. So I think they're going to be a little bit worse this year, but still a good team. And I do think Terry does eventually get back on the field, but a little rusty to start of the year. I don't think they end up trading Terry McLaurin. I think it's literally just a leverage play. But then they also lost some defensive pieces. They lost Jonathan Allen, big D lineman, big run stopper there. And then they traded for Marshawn Lattimore last year, and he barely played for him. What's his health like? I mean, his health hasn't been anything on the Saints and on the Commanders now. He has not been able to stay on the field. So I really do think that, he's a big piece in there. Can he stay on the field and be that lockdown corner that they traded him to be? So really, I don't know. But yeah, last year they went 12-5. Really good year. And, I really do trust Jaden Daniels to be, kind of the guy. I think he keeps them afloat. They have a tough schedule as well. Obviously, they get matched up with the AFC West. Very, very, very tough schedule. They get my Falcons in week 4. Tough. No, I'm kidding. They go to Atlanta and probably demolish us. We'll have to see. But yeah, I do think that this is a good football team. I don't know if it's a great football team. I don't think they make the conference championship again. I think they make the playoffs, potentially win a game. That's really all I have. But I do think that this team will go over their 9.5 win total. My model had them going at 11-6, I believe the 6 seed or the 5 seed. And they'll probably, beat the winner of the NFC South in the playoffs and then lose the next game as well. I don't know if they beat the 1 seed again. So we'll have to see. But that is my Commanders prediction, 11-6 this year over their win total. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, they won the Super Bowl last year. So that's pretty good. 14-3 record. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. Rookie corners, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. DeJean might move to safety, but Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean not only were really good the entire year, but also really good in the Super Bowl. I mean, Cooper DeJean had pick 6 on Patrick Mahomes. That's absolutely wild. Exciting whites, as we like to call them. And then, obviously, Saquon, 2,000-yard year, backwards hurdle. Saquon is the best running back in football right now, probably. I don't know if he can manage that workload again. He had so many touches last year. That is, I don't think he can take that again. But also, I don't think they need it. This team has virtually 0 holes. Yeah, they lost Darius Slay, but they still got good corners. Nakobe Dean's out, but they'll backfill and their defense will be fine. I think their biggest loss was their offensive coordinator. Kevin Patullo replaces Kellen Moore. That's a big ask. Kellen Moore was really good for them last year. But obviously this offense has so many good pieces. Jalen Hurts, top 12, top 10 quarterback. A.J. Brown, top 8 receiver. Devonta Smith, top 20 receiver. Saquon Barkley, top, if not first, top 2 running back in football. And then Dallas Goedert is a serviceable tight end. And then the O-line is probably top 5. This offense has the pieces. Kevin Patullo just has to call the right plays, and it's really not that hard to call the right plays when you have a guy on 1st and 10 where you can go, you can give the ball to him, and it's going to be 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. It's not that hard. And then you also have to account for Jalen Hurts running the ball out of the backfield. So yeah. And then the defense, we saw it in the Super Bowl. That defense was smothering Patrick Mahomes. They did lose some pass rushers, but I think they'll backfill perfectly fine. They have Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. I mean, it's still a very good defense, no matter who they lost. So yeah, their over-under win total was 11.5. It's a tough schedule. Some people would like the under and say they're going 11-6, Super Bowl hangover potentially. I think they're going to go over. My prediction is 13-4. That's what my model spit out. I could see 12-5. A little bit of hangover to start the year, a little bit. Maybe lose week 2 to the Chiefs and week 3 to the Rams. But I think, that week 2 through 4, 2 through 5 is a tough stretch. If they can go 3-1, 2-2 in that stretch, I really do like it because their schedule, it doesn't open up, but it gets lighter after that. It is a very tough schedule for them coming to this year. But I do think this is probably the most complete team in football, and that's why they won the Super Bowl. They really don't have that many holes, so that's why I think they can still go 13-4. But yeah, my prediction, this is what my NFC East standings are: 13-4 from Philadelphia, 11-6 for Washington, 7-10 for Dallas, and 4-13 for the Giants. The Giants could earn the number 1 pick here, but I really do think Dallas is a better team than 7-10. It's just tough division, tough schedule. Like if you give them maybe a bottom 10 uh like schedule, bottom 10 strength of schedule, I think they're a 9-8, 10-7 playoff team because of how good I think their offense will be. But I really do think that this schedule is going to be very tough for them, and that's why I think that they're going to have some problems with it basically. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what you guys think. Like, do you guys think that the Commanders are going to win? Because data shows you that. Because there hasn't been a repeat winner in like 20 plus years. I mean, I love data more than anyone else. I just don't think in those 20 years we've seen a team as complete and as good as these Eagles. The only thing I could see is there's a Super Bowl hangover. And if the Terry situation had not happened, I'd be more inclined to pick the Commanders to win the division because they are the biggest threat, probably the only threat. But since that stuff happened, and then the Cowboys would be a small threat, but Micah Parsons' contract is to be best player on the field. So really, it's kind of like an odd situation. Best team that we've probably ever seen in this division in those 20 years, and the other two teams that are even a threat have had contract disputes with arguably their best player. So I really just don't see the Eagles not being able to win this division unless, obviously full health. Not full health, but not major injuries like Jalen Hurts goes down, is out for the year, and then freaking Jordan Davis out for the year, something like that. Even though I think they can manage D-tackle going down. But yeah, let me know what I missed. Let me know your predictions down in the comments, and please like, subscribe, put that notification bell on, and leave a comment of what you guys want to see next, and who had the better prediction so far, me or Cam. All right, peace, y'all.